And Saudi Arabia and its allies have given Qatar another 48 hours to accept a series of demands or face further sanctions. Qatar, which is accused by its neighbors in the Gulf of supporting terrorism, has effectively been under a blockade for the past month. And TRT World's editor-at-large, Ahmed al Burai, joins me now live in the studio for more on that. Thanks so much for coming in. In the kindest terms, Saudi and its allies say they just want Qatar to be on the same page as per regional power dynamics. Why is that unacceptable to Qatar?
Look, Andrea, they used to be reading from the same page on Yemen, on Syria, on different issues when it comes to the Gulf region. But all of a sudden, these two states, mainly Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, believe that Qatar is diverting from the mainstream policies of the GCC. But to be honest, it was all based on unfounded reasons. So far, they didn't present concrete, solid evidence that Qatar is supporting extremists away from the same rebel groups that Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates are supporting. They have problems with the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood has been listed by some of the countries as a terrorist organization, whereas others, the European Union and the United States, they didn't list them as terrorist organizations so far. So it is more negotiable. The point is the 13 steep demands asked from Qatar, they're illogical, they're not actionable, as Rex Tillerson recommended that they should be, and they're not reasonable. It's a kind of submissive terms to Qatar. Qatar is turning into a vassal state by these demands in case it responds to.
And all 13 demands are unacceptable, so where is there room for even negotiation?
That's the point. If you just go through the 13 items, you would feel that it was a kind of dictating orders on a state that belongs to the country. As I told you, they want Qatar to turn into a vassal state. They do not recognize Qatar as an independent sovereign state that belongs to this bloc that is the GCC. According to the charter of the GCC itself, each and every country has the freedom and the right to take its own policies as far as it goes with the overflow or the overall policies of the GCC. When it comes to the relations with Iran, for example, which is one of the most interesting points, they want Qatar that share the second biggest gas field with Iran to curb and cut its relations, while the United Arab Emirates increase the volume of mutual and bilateral economic relations, the same as for Oman. So that more unconceivable paradox in the demand makes the observers feel that it is not a kind of giving Qatar space or a room for negotiating. It's more dictating orders from a state to another, a province within the state itself.
Okay, so here they've been given another ultimatum. What happens in 48 hours when these terms are not accepted?
What I believe is going to happen, because the extension gives a clear signal that we're going to have a retaliation by a way or another. They're going to tighten the economic sanctions. Maybe they're going to withdraw the money from the banks of Qatar. Maybe they're going to sever the relation between Qatar and cut its membership in the GCC. The report speaking about they're asking European countries and the United States to choose between Qatar or the other GCC bloc, and they will convene in Egypt Wednesday, 2 days, in order to decide on the coming measures. Their report speaking about an Egyptian military base in Bahrain that is going to be more retaliation and escalation. I don't believe that there is room for de-escalation.
And where does it stop?
It will stop if the United States, basically the United States, I don't believe that Turkey in this particular juncture of time does have the leverage to de-escalate what's going on. It's mainly the United States that yesterday Trump called all of them. That's why I believe this extension period has been given. It's only the United States that would intervene and say that we need to solve this peacefully because the whole region doesn't stand another turmoil in the Gulf countries.
Right. Okay, Ahmed, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for coming in.